October 18th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to commit this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well. I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well. I call the most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes through the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station there is a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the moida, where the body was found. Now, on the day of the moida, October 15th, there are only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Mr. Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. Production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was a murder weapon. That's the case, in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to that whole thing again? I think I could probably remember that.
So the murder weapon was a spear? How medieval.
Samurai spear added to the court record. Spear was found struck in the chest of the victim. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. That question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see?
Understood.
Let's call the security officer to the stand. Will the witness declare her name? Why, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please. Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. Your name, please. Seems Edward has a bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their names. Randy Oldbag, dearie. Objection! I object to the witnesses talking of this.
Objection sustained. Witness will refrain from rambling on the stand.
I'll just get to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony?
Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct?
Yes, see, I was.
And at the scene of the murder, someone had to pass by you?
You know your stuff, dearie.
You may begin your testimony.
Sure is one hell of an old bag. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest have been doing a run-through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 o'clock when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5 o'clock. The murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me, because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. Powers, the man right there, and he was heading toward the studio.
You saw the defendant, Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. What kind of errands? Oh, well, you know. Answer the question. Actually, I was watching poor Hammer and Powers. Observing, you know? Observing? Weren't you supposed to be at the guard station? Snapper, I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job. I'm not sure your boss could see it that way. Anyway, I was watching Hammer's run-throughs. Always, nervous one in all my years. I want to see this. time I run through too. Guess they're medium and kept guard duty. Not a bad idea. $2:00? You're sure?
Sure, Spit? Well, who is the man? What are you trying to take a set at your age? I strained something.
No, don't get your skivvies on a bunch.
I'll tell you who it was.
Powers, that man there. He was heading right towards the studio.
Powers?
Sorry, take it.
Wait, secret weapon. Say it again. It was him.
It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading towards the studio.
Let me get this straight, old bag. Miss Old Bag.
You've been saying yesterday since you saw Mr. You've been saying since yesterday you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you?
For just a moment, Mr. Wright. I see that photo. What is this exactly?
None other than Steel Samurai, defender of Neo Old Tokyo. Miss Old Bag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw? Of course! Didn't your mama teach you any sense, sonny? Come in and see that's Powers, right? No, they can't. Well, I mean, I wonder? True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai. I know that. I was born yesterday.
Score is accusing you of that, witness.
He's having trouble calling your old bag, apparently.
However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you?
Humph, noisy old man. Of course I have proof. What? Huh? Even Edward is surprised? Edward is surprised. The prosecution would like to ask the witness, please make known all information in your possession ahead of time. How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. Didn't even give it a second look. Wow, old windbag has left even Edward speechless. She's good.
They sure about your proof, then.
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the fun through the session scene, saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props, and it was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Look at that picture. See him dragging his legs. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
He has sprained his ankle? Very well. Mr. White may cross the witness. She got behind something. I'll press her until she squeals. Trip and fall?
Yes, and I think he's going to be the Steel Samurai. What's a laugh? Powers sprained his ankle.
Better for him, of course. You help make it better?
I kissed it where it hurt.
Let's skip over that part, shall we?
Was he assisted then? Oh, her? She was getting my backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle.
Continue your testimony.
Broke a prop? Sure did. It was own samurai spear. The samurai spear? The murder weapon? Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it. This strikes me as a significant detail. I'm gonna write this down in the court record. Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained? Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. Dressing room to clear and rest up after lunch. That's the nap. Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot while he walked. Dragging his foot, okay. I think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor?
Well, there's one thing that bothers me.
Which is?
Where is this Steel Samurai costume now?
Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai costume was Mr. Will Powers.
I suppose that's right.
Sure, Your Honor? Hold it right there! We keep talking possibilities. We have to agree that this photo shows a Steel Samurai. Nor in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers.
Fancy has a point. I wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. I've been considering that possibility also.
Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please? Need to ask twice. Mrs. Account continued. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? Because I saw to go to the studio for that was Will Powers. No one else went there. I would have seen them.
Well, it's true. This is what Hammer did. Mr. Wright, cross-examine the witness.
No one else went there. Hold on. Look at this photograph. Look at this photograph.
One more time. I'm so sorry.
I couldn't resist.
Okay, let's go move on.
This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct? Guess you're right, Sonny. So whenever anyone passes by here, automatically takes a picture. And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground. Right, anyway. It's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data. Ooh, you know, if you wanted to work in the studio, we might have an opening. The very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2. I know that means I was taken on p.m. on October 15th. Really, Sonny? Actually, I knew that too. This issue the issue is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2. Photo number 2? The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo?
Order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright.
Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows not one, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there's only one data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access, the security lady herself. Eh? Me? What's your mouth, whippersnapper? The person I saw that day was no powers. But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by. Well, yes, that's what it would seem to me. Explain this to court? I don't understand these new fangled computer things. Edgy boy, help! Huh? Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either. Some help you are. Sure, whippersnapper too. Whippersnapper?
Something the matter, Miss Solberg?
Ah, that's right! I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate? Someone other than Mr. Steel Samurai?
Or, well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way.
I see. Testimony, please.
Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. Go to the photos recorded in the security computer and check them. Throw any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day. Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this. Well, of course, Sonny. I've only just remembered it.
Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination.
Well, I'd say there's a term for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this.
The other person.
Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one more important job to do. I go to the photos recorded in the security system and check them. Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased? A fanboy. Fanboy? Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging them out. One was there that day. Wait a second! Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words! Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside, and well, that's where they come in. Come in through the drain? Told you they were freaks. Oh, and? They're kids. Children. Whippersnappers. Kids? So on the photo that you erased, it was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade. What?
Order! Let me get this straight. So 2 people passed by this gate on the way to the studios that day. One Steel Samurai, dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be about 2nd or 3rd grade.
Oh yes, but we see his type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him. Boy in 2nd or 3rd grade.
I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy.
Right! I said I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there, that makes him a suspect. Yeah, they're already trying to unsuspect him.
This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And don't forget any vital information this time.
October 18th, 11:08 a.m., District Court, Final Lobby number 3. Mr. Powers?
Yes?
Tell me straight, were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio?
I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping. Honest.
So who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo?
How should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in a corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really.
What? You should take better care of that stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a Steel Samurai costume. So, where does this leave me?
It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick! What are we gonna do? First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this. Right! It'll take them so long to just down the beginning of their day. Right, but if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot.
You don't sound very optimistic.
Not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go.
What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on the matter?
The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers.
Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts?
Defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime.
Order! Interesting. Let's hear what you have in mind. However, rather the court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. Someone who is obviously innocent will be penalized.
Right, great, as the stakes run high enough.
Who is the person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed murder?
It was a security lady, Wendy Olbag. Who? The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There's only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Olbag. What? Whippersnapper! Order!
Order! Is this true, Olbag?
Olbag? What's Miss Olbag to you? Miss Olbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She had briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume, then slept in Studio 1, the scene of the murder.
Why would she go trouble wearing the Steel Samurai costume?
Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers.
I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright.
Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes II, baby. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Does he usually jump up with suggestions of damning new evidence?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter?
The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you don't think I did it? Is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something! What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Mrs. Olbag's actions on that day. What? Why would I do something that horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive, too.
Indeed.
That did it. Now Olbag is one of the suspects. Feelings, I hope. Wait just a minute! What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy! The one whose photo I erased!
When a grade schooler, though, as you said, 2nd or 3rd grade, was it?
That doesn't matter. Finish, I could pay my old man in 10 seconds, tops!
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright?
Boy's not the killer. What? How can you be so sure? Could be nice to the kid in 2 Thursday, whippersnapper. I have proof. Proof?
Indeed, let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. Sure the boy could not have committed this murder?
Your Honor, the murder weapon was a samurai spear. That very spear is shown here in this photo. How could the boy have taken the spear? It's impossible!
I see. Oh, would witness care to comment on this?
The winning bag. Speechless. This has got to be a first.
Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the correct trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Wendy. What's your name?
Something Olbag, Your Honor.
Then prosecution will look further into this Olbag before we continue. That's all. Court is adjourned.
Wait a second! I'm not going to stay here while you're barking up the wrong tree. Me! I'm talking! Oh, great. Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk.
Miss Olbag, what's this all about? You read something for your testimony?
Actually, if you must know, something I was told not to talk about.
Not to talk about? By whom?
Huh? Was it Edgeworth who told her not to talk?
Well, testify!
My lips were sealed. Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people in the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been in the studios that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
Miss Oldbag, it's crucial information. Why did you keep this for the court until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told. No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bag.
Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. A lot of people don't like Wendy Oldbag, but I think that there's a lot of humor that comes from like other characters' reactions to how unbelievably insufferable she is. I think there is a lot of humor to be derived from Wendy Oldbag. So I don't really hate her as much as a lot of people do.
My lips were sealed. Robert Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people in the studios on the day of the murder. Who were these people? Well, the director and producer, for starters. The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course! Yes, well, I'm surprised no one asked about it. So where were these people? The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime and had a meeting after that. Where? Oh, in a Studio 2 trailer. Studio 2? There's a Studio 2? Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. Go through the gate and all the way to the left. The path where the monkey's head was fallen over. Mr. Wright, continuing cross-examination? I already asked my questions, but... Your Honor, we've learned there were others at Global Studio on the day of question. Director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yeah, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. Hold that it is impossible to declare a victim on the defendant, Mr. Powers.
The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag. More information about these other people we have just been told of.
I understand, Your Honor.
This ends the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Oh, really? It's nothing. Or should I... We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. They'll have a chance to get material for the cross-examination. So, Nick, we figured out just who it was in the Studio Steel Samurai costume? Could it have been old Windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers?
I don't think it was her, really.
Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor old Windbag. I feel kind of sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there, with or without my accusation. Well, okay, let's get down to the studios. Right. We'll be back to visit you soon.
Thanks. Thanks, guys.
To be continued.